Hi there, Julia. So I'm really sorry about sending you a video with no sound. I'm not really sure why that happened. It was some sort of a technical glitch with my microphone, I suspect. In any quick case, this should work, okay? So let's get straight into your essays, okay? The provided bar chart displays the rate of shoe sales made from brown or black leather in 2018 in 9 European countries, namely France, etc., you name them. Okay, let's fix some of this to make the statements that you're making a little more accurate. You're not talking about the rate of shoe sales because that's talking about the speed. We don't care about the speed. We're simply talking about the number, okay? And then you don't want to say sales made from brown or black leather shoes because that's as if you're saying that the sales are things that are black or brown leather. So that's strange. So let's clean that up. The provided bar chart displays the number of shoes. Let's clean it up again. The provided bar chart displays the number of black or brown leather shoes sold in 2018 in 9 European countries, and then you're fine. Regarding black leather shoes, the leaders of sales are Hungary and Italy with 140 and 130 pairs items respectively. They are followed by Belgium and the UK with nearly 100 pairs each. Other countries' figures are broadly similar and hardly exceed 50 products, except France with roughly 30 pairs. In general, black shoes seem to be more popular than brown ones. The highest rate equals nearly 130 pairs. Okay, first of all, I like the way you organized this. When I think about how I want this answer organized, it's more or less what you just did. There is a problem though. Your data is inaccurate because this is all in the thousands. That's why you see those 3 zeros in the parentheses. So saying 140, 130 is inaccurate and it's completely skewing your data. This unfortunately is going to be a huge problem in your task achievement score. Because all the data is inaccurate. So the person reading this has an incorrect picture of what you're looking at. So that would definitely lower your task achievement score. There were a couple of other things I want to fix in this paragraph. Let's do that now. So this was fine with nearly 100 pairs each. Other countries hardly exceed. I wasn't sure about that, but okay. It's really helpful if you could include the image of the diagram in your answer because I absolutely like to refer to it a lot. So it would have really helped here. I didn't really care for this expression here. In general, black shoes seem to be more popular than brown ones. Again, it's not a rate, and you already, and I didn't understand this. The highest rate equals nearly 130 pairs. Of which? Of brown? Of black? That was very confusing to me. I would have really left it out. I think you're talking about brown leather shoes, but it's just not clear here. And it's not really relevant to include it since this whole paragraph was about black leather shoes anyway. So I would definitely take out this last section here. So concerning brown leather shoes, the largest quantity was sold in Poland. No, the largest quantities, IES, were sold in Poland, Hungary, and Germany with 130, 120, 120 respectively. Okay. And here you have to put an and. The rest of the countries managed to sell between 70 and 100 items, whereas only Belgium recorded approximately 5,000 pairs, of course. This country demonstrated a huge gap between sales of black and brown leather shoes with 110 and 5 items for each. Fine. Overall, black leather shoes reached the highest, not reached, but had the highest sales number in comparison with those, because it's plural, shoe sales, of brown ones. Additionally, Hungary sold most of both types of shoes in Europe according to the data. Okay, that's fine. So I really, really like the way you organized. I absolutely agree with this thing you did here with this range. You said that, these guys all were like 100 to 140, and then you combined these guys together between 50 and 100. So I thought that was absolutely appropriate. So I absolutely agree with what you did here. Just little things with the grammar. That's what you had to work on a little bit. And of course, the data. You have to make sure that you are actually accurately representing the data as you see it, okay? All in all, it's a well-written response, though. Let's take a look at this about traditional food being replaced by fast food. Experts throughout the developing and developed world have debated whether the replacement of traditional meals by fast food negatively affects people, or if, here you need an if, the opposite is the case. Personally, I strongly advocate the former view. Okay. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from the UK government and Harvard University. All right. This is a little confusing. Let's talk about why. The essay is asking you, to what extent do you agree or disagree? You have already told us that you strongly advocate the fact that traditional meals, the replacement is negatively affecting people. Okay? You said that you agree with that statement. And since it only asks you about your view, to what extent do you agree or disagree, the question then arises, well, then why are you going to talk about the other side? What's the purpose of analyzing the benefits of fast food? Okay? Now, just so that what I'm saying to you is clear, I am not against this, not at all. I think it's important to weigh all the sides of an argument very, very fully. However, if you choose to do that, it really should be clear in your introduction why you are doing that. I hope that makes sense. So, if you say you strongly advocate one side, then it doesn't seem logical when you're only asked about your opinion why you would address the other side. If there is some validity to the other side and you want to address that validity, then please do so, but also make it clear in your introduction. Okay? Because when they say that your position is clear throughout the response, that's what we mean. It wouldn't make sense for you to say, I strongly advocate one view, and then all of a sudden we see that you have argued in favor of both sides. That doesn't make your position clear, okay? So this is an issue of both task achievement and coherence and cohesion. It would really fall under both of those categories. So let's see how you develop this, and then we can talk about how you could have changed your thesis statement here, your position statement, to reflect what your position actually is. Let's see. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that fast food has simplified our life. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, there is no longer any need to spend hours preparing meals. Secondly, the low price of such food makes it available to most people. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that nearly a third of British citizens buy fast food due to its low price and ease of consumption. It must not be forgotten that although nowadays fast food is very popular with a wide audience, it was initially invented for poorer people who couldn't afford expensive meals. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that this nutrition has some undoubted benefits for society. Okay, so that's where it is. You definitely talk about the benefits of fast food to society, especially maybe poorer members of society. So, rather than just saying, personally, I strongly advocate the former view, you need to make this a little more detailed. And instead, I would say, personally, while fast food benefits certain segments of society, on the whole, I strongly advocate the former view. And it's really that simple of a change. Just have something in your position statement that kind of cues your reader into the fact that you're going to talk about some benefits of the side that you don't support. Okay? Because you do see merit in that side. All right? So that's how I would handle that. Let's continue. On the other hand, although there is a case to overcome malnutrition among less wealthy people, that's awkward. Let's fix this. So, on the other hand, although there is a case for fast food helping treat malnutrition or prevent malnutrition among less wealthy people, the impact of traditional foods cannot be overstated. This is largely because this type of food is healthier and doesn't cause obesity. A study by Harvard University showed that over the last 50 years, the percentage of people suffering from diseases caused by the widespread of fast food has quadrupled. Consistent with this line of thinking is that fast food is more popular with youngsters and can potentially threaten their health. Thus, it's possible to state beyond doubt that traditional foods are a better choice for society. We're going to talk about this paragraph in a minute. Let's look at your conclusion. From the arguments, plural, and examples given, I firmly believe that regardless of some benefits of fast food in general, its wide consumption can cause irreparable damage to humanity, which governments must not fail to address in the future. Okay, that was nicely written. And look what you did. You see, here you did what I wanted in your introduction. You said, I firmly believe that regardless of some benefits. So you're mentioning that, yes, there are some benefits to fast food. However, on the whole, etc., etc. And that's exactly what you need to do in your introduction. So let's talk about this paragraph. In general, I thought your writing was very good. It flowed really nicely. Not really a lot of mistakes, some precise vocabulary, really cohesive. I liked the writing considerably. There is a problem, though, and again, it's a problem of task achievement. The essay asks you to talk about the impact on families, individuals, and society. You did mention society, and perhaps maybe indirectly, you talked about individuals. But you absolutely never spoke about families, and you really need to. How does this shift change our families? How does it negatively affect families? And this is certainly something that you have to address. I mean, there are a lot of different ways you could do it. You could talk about how it's beneficial to families. I mean, here you focus just on obesity, et cetera, low price. No, here you focused on obesity. Here you talked about the low price. Well, you could also talk about how families now have more time to do other things that are important rather than just cook. Okay? They can, I don't know, spend more quality time with their children. They can do whatever. So that's one thing you could have said. Or here, you could talk about how this shift is very negative because this time when families prepared these meals and sat around and ate them was actually a wonderful opportunity for family bonding. You could have also talked about how um, what's the word I want to say? There's a lot of tradition and culture that that is passed on through food, okay, and that is lost when we turn to these fast food alternatives instead. So these were some things that you could have mentioned, and so you could have said that like the family is the vehicle by which this element of tradition and culture is passed down from generation to generation. So these were some things you could have said in order to talk about how all of this affects the family. I thought that your focus was really just on society. You didn't really talk about individuals either. Like I said, just indirectly. As far as individuals are concerned, you could have talked about maybe the average worker who works many hours and perhaps doesn't have time to prepare a cooked meal, a traditional cooked meal, and so turns to fast food for sustenance. When cooking something rather complex is just not an option. So that's something you could have mentioned here as well. But so yeah, for me, the issues of task achievement were probably the weakest in this essay. The rest of it was really well written, so good job. Just be careful about these things. It's a good place to be because these are really test-taking skills, and they're more easily acquired than, say, for example, some of the grammar that some people often struggle with. So go ahead, correct these. I apologize about the lack of sound in your previous video, and I'll wait for your next set. Okay, best of luck.